Welcome to day 8 of the 12 days of money, and welcome back to another Millennial in Debt video. So today we're talking about how to go on a money date, because I talk about money dates all the time. I have the fantastic, amazing, wonderful money date template that I use every single month to track my spending, my expenses, all those great things, set all my money goals. You know the vibes. But I still get the question of, what is the process? What does the process look like? So it's so important for you to have the resources you need. And I love providing the resources you need and want. So that is what we're going to get into. We're going to go step by step together. You and I on a money date. So back in August, I shared a really quick video on how I ended up spending $19,000 in August. It was my birthday month. So forgive me. I've already forgiven myself. Okay? But I needed to check myself. I needed to reel it in, get myself together, because girl, excuse me, we have goals to hit. We have money to make, and we can't just be spending it all willy-nilly at Sephora, Target, and where else? Amazon. House of Bezos really got a lot of my money that month. And so my money date helped me realize, like, oh crap, I spent a ton of money, although I did end up 10,000 of the 19,000, 10,000, I think, or 13,000, I can't even remember at this point, went towards my investment account. So I tried to reel in, even though I was overspending on my personal self, I definitely wanted to make sure that I was investing in my future self. So that $19,000 wasn't all bad. It wasn't all in Sephora, but a lot of it was. And so this is why money dates are so important. It's not to make you feel bad. It's not to make you, think you're really just bad with money. It's to show you what you're doing and to help you kind of navigate into that next month, into those next few months, so that you can hit your money goals while still enjoying your life and enjoying your money. That's the whole point and premise of money dates. And I talk about it in chapter 1 of my book, So This Is Why I'm Broke. That is one of my non-negotiables. Financially, when you're in a relationship, when you're single, when you're living at home, you need to go on a money date at least once a month, because if you don't, you will never know. You will think you know, but you will never actually know what you're doing with your money or what your money is getting into when you're not paying attention. Because we have so many other things to pay attention to. So many things in life are happening. I don't have time all the time to say, oh my God, I swiped $36 today. I don't have time to do that every single day. But my money date ensures that I get it done so that I'm not just spiraling out of control, because when left to my own devices, even as a money expert, I will spiral. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I always suggest when you're going on a money date is to get comfortable. Money and talking about money for some reason can be really uncomfortable, or can make you feel just out of your element. And so you want this money date to feel cozy and comfortable. I always incorporate food. I love pizza.
I can eat a whole medium pizza by myself. I love pizza.
Pizza is a non-negotiable for me in my money date. So I'll either make a pizza or I'll order a pizza, but I will sit down and I will grab my blanket, do whatever, put on some music, set the vibes, but I'm making sure that my money date environment is comfortable. The next step when you are planning to go on a money date is you're going to get all of your documents, whether they're digital or paper. You're going to get every statement that you get. You're going to pull that credit card statement, pull that debit card statement, pull your savings, look at your investments, look at everything, because then you're going to really avoid estimating. We tend to estimate a lot when we think about money, and you're going to use your actual factual numbers. So now you're cozy, you got your pizza, you got your tacos are also a fan favorite in this household. You've got all your documents. Now you're going to roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty gritty of what your month looked like. Now, I typically like to do this on my iPad, but I also will do it. I will plug the numbers virtually into my money date template so that it goes from month to month to month, so I can see what I was doing 3 months ago, what changed 6 months ago, and what did last year look like. And that's what I really love about the money date template is you You use that one template, you can make copies of the sheet over and over and over so that you just have a long-term visualization of what you've been up to with your money. So I will first start by tracking every single expense, every single swipe. I don't use cash. I also don't have a debit card, so I know that all my expenses are going to be either from my checking account, a direct withdrawal for things like my mortgage or things like the electric bill, which I pay with a credit card, or anything that is going to just automatically come out as a monthly expense. Then I will look at my credit card statements. What was I swiping on? And I will write them out. So if I went to Amazon 14 times this month, I am going to see that in my face. I won't be able to hide and run from it. I need to face that expense directly so that I can make a plan for next month. This is also going to help you plug any spending leaks. A lot of times people will say, oh my God, I didn't know I was still paying $7.99 a month for Spotify, or I didn't know I had a Spotify and Apple Music account, or I didn't realize that my free subscription ended or my free trial ended and now I'm being charged $60 a month for this subscription that I don't even use. That's not bringing me joy, that I don't like. So you don't want any spending leaks and you want to plug those in with your money date. If you look at my money date from August, you will see every single expense and you will see that I was I was out of my mind. I was out of control. But if had I not written down those expenses, I really wouldn't have understood the damage that I did. I would have just been like, oh, like it's my birthday month. I didn't really do that much. Yeah, I did the freaking most and I needed to see it face to face. Once you've written down all your expenses, you're going to add up every single item into a certain category, right? So that could be housing, that could be food, that could be subscriptions, that could be self-care. Self-care is another really big one for me. I put aside a specific amount for self-care. So I want to make sure that I'm not out of control, right? I'm making sure I'm not treating myself too damn much, because it happens, especially. So we have our cozy spot, we have all our documents, we have written out every single expense, every single dollar we spent, and we've categorized them. Now we can look at those categories and we can see, oh, did I save as much as I thought? Did I invest as much as I thought? Do I have areas where I can cut back? Do I have bills that I can negotiate to make lower? Because I want to understand and I want to identify my glorious gap. Your glorious gap is going to be how much you make, how much you bring in versus how much you're spending. Whatever is left over is your glorious gap. That is going to be the money that you're going to navigate to help you achieve your financial goals. So you can't save more if you don't know how much you have left over, and you can't save more if you don't know what you can cut out or how much you need to earn if you're going to start side hustling or you start a business. So once I've identified my glorious gap, right, and there are times where I might be under that. I might be in the red that month. Or I have debt that has increased. My credit card bill is really high, and that tends to happen in Q4, a lot in summer, but also in Q4 around the holidays. If I know that I have $500 left over at the end of the month, but I've swiped $1,500 worth of gifts, then I'm in the red that month. Then I know that next month I've got to clean this up, or I've got to set up a plan to pay off that debt so I can get back on track to hit my financial goals. This is where people are like, I hate budgets. I hate budgeting. It never works for me. Your next and maybe most crucial step in your money date is to choose a budget that you want to stick to and plug in the numbers that are going to work for you. So everybody doesn't have to do the 50-30-20 budget. That doesn't work for everybody. Everybody doesn't have to do a traditional budget. Everybody doesn't have to do the cash envelope budget. Everyone doesn't have to do the zero-based budget, but you have to pick one and stick with it for at least 1 month. You can't just start and say, oh my God, I hate this. I'm going to stop. I'm going to figure something else out. No. Keep pushing through that budget for at least 1 month so that next month when you go on your next money date, you can say, oh, this is why I didn't like this budget. I'm going to try again. Because you cannot, Aaliyah told us, dust ourselves off, try again. I'm going to try again with a different budget next month and see how it works and see how it operates in my financial life and for my financial needs. So I particularly use the zero-based budget. I used to use a 50-30-20 budget when I was younger because I wasn't super interested or really wasn't prioritizing investing, which the 50-30-20 budget doesn't really prioritize that. I also had a very clear focus on paying off debt and buying a home. So I knew what my wants and my needs were, and then everything was kind of like pay your bills, and then save. There was no wiggle room for me. So I don't like carrying cash, so a cash envelope budget wasn't going to work for me. But for people who have trouble just swiping and not tracking their expenses daily, the cash envelope method might be great. It might be perfect. It might be exactly what they need. So you're going to choose a budget and you're going to allot the amounts of money that you need to essentially get to the next month. So if you know that you bring in $5,000 a month and you pay $2,000 to housing, now that $3,000 remaining has to go into the remaining categories that you identified in step 3 of your money date. So you're going to set aside how much money is going to go into food. And if you're surprised and shocked, like, oh my God, I've spent $800 on Uber Eats, that's a real life conversation you need to have with yourself. Where or how can I cut that $800 down to possibly $100, to possibly $200? So I'm still getting to enjoy Uber Eats and ordering out and eating out, but that $600 now that I have extra, I can put $300 towards groceries and $300 could go towards debt, or that remaining $300 could go towards my savings account. I don't need to spend $800 on Uber Eats, but now that I know I'm doing that, I can set up a plan. The next step that people often gets away from them, subscriptions. Do I need to have $400 in subscriptions? Is every single subscription that I'm paying for monthly important to me? Does it bring me joy? Do I find value with it? In it? If not, cut it out, get rid of it so that that glorious gap can increase and you can use the additional money elsewhere to pay off debt quicker, to fund your travel, to fund a sinking fund for gifting for next year. You don't need to just accept that this is what it is. You can always make a change based off the knowledge and information you have. And then the last step of a money date, after you have set up your budget, you've allotted the amounts into specific areas, and you're going to follow that budget for at least 1 month, that is where you identify any areas where you can increase your income. Because we can cut out a lot of things. We can't cut out everything. You can always make more money, right? There's no limitations on how much money you can make, but there are limitations on groceries I need to eat. There are limitations on housing. I need to live somewhere. There are limitations on insurance. It is very rare that I can afford to haggle my homeowner's insurance. Of course, I could switch companies, but if they tell me 500 is the price and the best price I found is 500, I gotta pay the 500. But when it comes to my income, there's no limits. The limit is endless. It is limitless. So you want to say, okay, I would feel a lot more comfortable making an extra $150, $100, $200 a month. What side hustle can I do that is going to fit into my lifestyle, fit into the time that I have left remaining, and is going to help me reach that extra $150 to $200 so I can pay off my debt quicker, so I can save a lot quicker. These are all the things you're writing down, organizing in your money date, so that when the next month starts, you have a plan and you know exactly what you need to do in order to reach that plan. And that is the money date. I do that every single month. And you know what? It really has made my relationship with money, my relationship with my partner in money a lot stronger, a lot more organized, and helped me reach a lot more targeted goals for the future. For example, right now I'm saving $5,000 for renovations to the home. I know that I want to do this in the summer, so I'm saving now. I'm putting money in after my money date. I know I have X amount left over. It's going into that savings account. I could not do that if I was just going all willy-nilly like I was in August. Like I said, it's in the past. I've forgiven myself. Please let me know if you have any further questions about going on a money date, and I will catch you in day 9 tomorrow. Peace.